Ex-girlfriend, your coach.
Hey everybody, it's your boy SergDragon, and welcome back to another edition of the Heavens Monsters podcast. With me always is T-Money, His Majesty,
King Terence.
There you go. So, we will review Raw and SmackDown on June 10th and 11th. So, let's go. Starting off with the show, we would have... who started up the show? I think it was Seth Rollins? Yeah. And they would talk about Baron Corbin and issuing that the fault for him losing that Super Showdown would be on the fault of the referee. So he did some deals with his experience as being former general manager of Monday Night Raw. He would actually have it in his corner, his referee, special guest referee of choice, and he is yet to make that choice. In addition, we would have, what do you call it? Not yet, not that him. Sami Zayn and wild card, Kevin Owens showing up from SmackDown alongside all three of them just chewing Seth Rollins, but still after all that smack talk, it would be Kevin Owens versus Seth Rollins ending the show that night.
I call Kevin Owens and Sami Zayn the bulk and skull of WWE.
Yeah, that's a good. That's a good one. I never thought about that. That's a good one. We then have Lars Sullivan defeating the Lucha House Party in a 3-on-1 handicap elimination match. And he does it with ease. Oh boy. This time was done right. I love elimination rules. I really do. We then have the trouble in an elevator with R-Truth and Carmella being trapped in an elevator with Cedric Alexander, Drake Maverick, EC3, and Heath Slayers. I got kids! I can't be in here! In that elevator, we would learn that Drake Maverick is getting married. And insulted that he wasn't invited, EC3, who is actually real-life friends with Drake Maverick from Impact Wrestling when he was known as Spud. Mm-hmm. And he said, dude, you're my best man. What a way to deliver. And also that EC3 was married 5 times. And divorced 5 times.
That's like Ric Flair.
Damn. Damn.
Ric Flair, he should know about that.
Oh, and Cedric Alexander is claustrophobic.
Okay.
He was saying that. I was like, no. So throughout that whole night, they were trapped in the elevator for nearly 3 hours. Damn. That sucks. So we would also have Michael Cole interview Lacey Evans and Raw Women's Champion Becky Lynch to hype their title match at Stomping Ground.
I must admit, I'm liking Lacey Evans.
You like your blondes.
Oh, yes.
Speaking of blondes, Alexa Bliss and Nikki Cross are seen backstage talking about match later with Lacey Evans to face Raw Women's Champion Becky Lynch. Cross says she will be in the corner of Bliss and Evans. Okay. The Miz comes out to the ring to host his special edition of Miz TV with special guest United States Champion Samoa Joe. They are eventually interrupted by Braun Strowman, Bobby Lashley, Ricochet, Cesaro, who all want to make a case at the challenge of the WWE Universal Championship. And that would be just crazy. It would then turn into a 6-man tag between Braun, Miz, and Ricochet against Joe, Lashley, and Cesaro. Ultimately, with the baby faces winning the match. That would be Braun, Miz, and Ricochet.
It's weird seeing the Miz as a babyface.
I know, he's still a babyface, but I'm waiting for him to turn heel real quick. It's going to happen. It's going to happen. It's something he's stuck with for so long, you can't break it that easily. But in other news, we have Sami Zayn issuing himself to Shane McMahon as to be the special guest referee to audition to be the special guest. You okay?
Fantastic.
Referee for Seth Rollins and Baron Corbin's match at Stomping Ground against Seth Rollins versus Kevin Owens, and he grants it. Damn it. Lacey Evans versus and Alexa Bliss ended up defeating the women's champion Becky Lynch and the SmackDown Women's Champion Bayley later on in that match. Yeah, I got a frog in my throat. Oh.
He got the WB frog in his throat.
That'll be Raymond. Frogman. Paul Heyman appears in the ring to say that Brock Lesnar will be the one who decides from now on when the Money in the Bank contract gets cashed in.
The McMahon family were mad, but the McMahon family were mad at him for at that Money in the Bank thing where he created Boombox briefcase.
Yep.
And he didn't make no choice of who he gonna face.
We then have the Iconics who call themselves fighting champions. They haven't defended their title since WrestleMania.
And they're not fighting champions.
Yeah. And also, they actually said they scoured the world for talents, and they just found local talents in that city at the time. What the hell?
They just try to make themselves the longest reign tag.
And defeated them.
Yeah, and tag team champions.
Yeah, wait till somebody actually pays attention. They didn't.
See,
and they haven't shown any love for the tag teams at all.
That's true.
Both women's and men's. There wasn't a tag team title match at Money in the Bank, to my knowledge, and there wasn't one at Saudi Arabia either.
I guess
for the men.
I guess they want to. I guess they want to save that turn it for other pay-per-views.
Hopefully, Stomping Ground. I hope.
Yeah.
We then have Drew McIntyre and Shane McMahon come out to celebrate Shane's victory over Roman Reigns, and there's a little celebration, and it would be also alongside Revival, who would have a match that night with the Usos and the current tag team champions Kurt Hawkins and Zack Ryder. Ultimately, thanks to their cheating habits, since it was a triple threat match, they ended up waiting for them to wear each other out to tag themselves in and ultimately pin Jimmy Uso, or was it Jay Uso? They're twins, so I forget.
Yeah.
And ultimately become the new Raw tag team champions. That sucks. So they can go in the back and enjoy themselves with the champagne of Shane McMahon.
So they must be 2 or 3 tag.
I think they're 2-time.
Yeah, that's right.
Ultimately, R-Truth does get out of the elevator with everybody else and is on the run once again. We then have another episode of Bray Wyatt, Firefly House, Funhouse, and poor Rambling Rabbit gets his head smashed in when he tried to snitch on what's going on in that Funhouse. Some dark stuff, ladies and gentlemen, especially when he showcases that spread of Rambling Rabbit breakfast spread. And he's got the Fiend mark on the bottom of the freaking jar.
I honestly, y'all, I just miss Bray Wyatt wins with the Wyatt family.
And finally, we look up June 11th SmackDown. Finally, we have the match featuring Kevin Owens versus Seth Rollins, non-title match with Sami Zayn as the special outside ring enforcer, outside referee they called it.
Yeah.
I'm trying to call it by its actual term, though. Special referee, special enforcer.
Yeah.
And ultimately, thanks to his actions, Kevin Owens would win by disqualification because Sami Zayn was outside the ring when Seth Rollins went for a suicide dive. Son of a bitch. So he went and called the match disqualification for assaulting a referee. And Seth Rollins ends up freaking whooping his ass with a chair just like he did with Brock Lesnar.
That's what I say about R-Truth. This is his 4th championship belt in WWE. 4.
And he's I think 5 or 6 time champion of that belt, the 24/7 title. That's fun.
That's smart. I hope someone gets off him. I know
They did. The 2-time champ would be Jinder Mahal. 1-time champ was the first, Titus O'Neil. Second was Robert Roode. After that, nobody else.
Yeah,
So we'll wait and see. And I want to see if a woman can steal it.
Yeah, but no woman has done that yet.
Yeah, not yet. We know
But
Naomi made a reference that she was wanting the title, as did Dana Brooks.
Dana Brooke.
Sorry.
That girl has not been getting no airtime.
That title definitely gives you airtime. At least it shows your face.
Yeah, I'm talking about she's not being used.
Surprised.
I'm
Yeah.
used.
Neither has Natalya. You notice that?
Yeah.
And I think it's because of what happened with Bret Hart going to ECW at their pay-per-view, revealing the new AEW, sorry, their new title belt. We got the side of that. In which case, ladies and gentlemen, also another legend of WWE that's in AEW right now, when the Rhodes brothers were having the match, was Diamond Dallas Page.
Yeah.
So
The former 3-time WCW champion.
you showing? There it is.
Hey, I'm sorry, y'all. I'm sorry.
I saw the 4 finger. I'm like,
sorry.
3.
I'm sorry, y'all.
Yeah.
My apologies.
Before we do SmackDown, a shout out to our boys Xavier Hill, Mike Henry. A link to their YouTube pages will be in the descriptions down below, as always. And another shout out to Renee, Farrell, Andre, Chris Petrie, and Delvin, the remaining Heaven Monsters podcast crew members.
I did not like his feud with Undertaker, Diamond Dallas Page.
I didn't watch WCW because I didn't have cable back then.
This is WWE.
WWE?
Yeah, he had a feud with Undertaker. He was playing as he was playing Undertaker's wife, Stalker.
That was stupid. Don't do that.
And but he was using he was disguising his voice, and he had like a black mask and all black outfit, like he was a Terminator.
Mm-hmm. Okay, I'm trying to think who were the rest of the wild cards of that night. I know it was Bailey for one, besides Kevin Owens, and R-Truth and Carmella. I think that's it. I'm trying to think. Was there anybody else? Can't think of anybody. Then we have SmackDown. First wild card would be The Miz. And this is getting weird because I think it was also Drew McIntyre and The Revival. So what the hell? Was that the 4 members already? Damn! Ultimately forced to do this show by the order of Shane McMahon to showcase himself. And funny, they would say the pest in the pest in the world. Yeah, I love that. That was funny. No, I don't think the Revival was there. I think it was just Drew McIntyre and Elias next to him.
I looked at that jersey that Shane McMahon always wear. I said, that jerseys that he always had did not look like that what he was wearing.
Yeah, he's wearing leather jackets now.
Yeah, but that's what the jerseys he always had said Shane O'Mac. They were long. The sleeves were longer in the hook.
Well, he's changing up his game then.
Yeah.
All right, next up we would have the actual means for The Miz to actually get his hands on Shane McMahon once again. First having to fight Elias, then Drew McIntyre, and ultimately lose to Drew McIntyre after beating Elias. He would then still be granted the match with Shane McMahon, ring the bell, ultimately disqualified because of outside interference when he was actually putting him up a fight. Son of a bitch.
His pants were baggy.
And then he chokes, he strangles poor freaking Miz. That's why he got disqualified, because we'll be right back. Here. And we're back. Just making sure I didn't press the stop button by accident. And okay, so his ride's here, so we got to speed run this. Mm-hmm. So let's go ahead and backstage. Ember Moon is once again being taunted by the fire and desire Sonya I was about to say Sonya Deville.
Yeah,
Sonya Deville. So Sonya Deville and Amy Rose. Mandy Rose. Why did I say that? Why did I say Amy? Who's Amy?
It almost sounded like you said Bambi.
But with an M, Bambi. Oh, I'll make a joke about that a little later right now. And Ember Moon is pissed that she's being compared to them and screams in the hallway, throwing all of those magazines once again in the trash. Heavy Machinery then declares themselves after seeing the current SmackDown champions, Daniel Bryan and Eric Rowan, say that everybody else doesn't deserve a title shot, while Heavy Machinery begs to differ. That they want to state their claim and ultimately have to fight these local man-made tag team champions. They got wooden tag team titles, so you know they're fake. You know they're fake. They're just made up. They're just poor saps who get run through by Heavy Machinery just to prove that they will be the next ones to fight the current SmackDown champions of Daniel Bryan. I think that's what they're playing. The Planet's champions, as they're called. Carmella is backstage with R-Truth and hiding him in a roller crate backstage, and Jinder Mahal finds him. What up? Definitely got to run this through. Jinder Mahal ultimately tries to get a crowbar to get him, but R-Truth is going to be shipped to the next city of LA to end up going to Monday Night Raw. So he's going for that long ride. Oh boy, that's not going to be fun. Sonya Deville defeats Carmella Viva pump kick thanks to the help of Mandy Rose. Alexa Bliss is backstage with Nikki Cross, ultimately telling her to complete lies on Twitter, saying that Bayley's making fun of her on Twitter to fuel her to fight against Bayley, that match against Nikki Cross. Two more wild cards from Raw would be Nikki Cross and Alexa Bliss, and Nikki Cross ends up losing to Bayley. So New Day comes out to celebrate their return of Big E in a 6-man tag against Dolph Ziggler, Sami Zayn, and Kevin Owens, and ultimately defeats them in a tag team match after the issue of Super Showdown. I'll leave us a link of Super Showdown review from us in the descriptions down below so you can check that out. Why? Because we gotta hurry. Bayley defeats Bennett. Jinder Mahal Firefly show again. Apollo Crews is interviewed backstage. She asked him about the match last week against Andrea because of the fact that they didn't even finish the match. There wasn't even a match. Andrea assaulted him and there was no match. Ultimately, what was the guy name again? The one I said got a haircut?
Chad Gable.
Chad Gable's taking notes as to why, I do not know. Until later. I'll tell you that in the next episode. And steps up. The New Day defeats Kevin Owens. I already said that. And ultimately, I was saying Mambi. I'm like, it sounds like a man deer. Mambi. Like, no. We also have, oh crap, I forgot already. I'm trying to think what was I mentioning before. We had poor freak. Oh, that's what it is. Still to this day, we have no one picking a fight with Aleister Black, and he is getting really frustrated. What would that entail? That he's going to leave WWE, or he's going to pick a fight with somebody with who we don't know. So that said, ladies and gentlemen, I'm SergDragon. This is T-Money. And we hope you liked this video. If you liked it, give it a thumbs up. If you didn't, give it a thumbs down. Hit the subscribe if you like the content, and hit that notification bell for the next Heaven's Monsters podcast. Peace. He's out. Bye.